The stories that we hear as children shape our mind and then go on to shape the entire world. That economy, ecology, politics, and therefore we have to be extremely careful. It's like planting a seed. You sow a seed in the mind of a 10 years old kid. This will shape their future. If you are sowing seed of hate, hatred, of fear, then 10, 20, 30 years later, you will get a harvest of violence. If you sow seed of compassion, then maybe in 20 or 30 years, you get a harvest of cooperation and peace. I think that with this epidemic of toxic information, people should go on a kind of information diet. We have learned to be very, very careful about the food that we put into our mouth. We should be even more careful about the information that we put into our minds. We should look at how much hatred and how much anger is on the information we consume. You said it's possible to trace a direct line from a Genesis decree order of a fill the earth and subdue its surrender to the Industrial Revolution and today's ecological crisis. Another direct line of influence can be drawn from that historical narrative that Russian children learn at school, the Putin invasion of Ukraine, and the ensuing global food crisis. What are you saying to children to us? It's our history lesson and the civic lessons are for younger people. What do you think telling the kids will do to shape the future? In the long term, this is a key because how kids view the world. This is how they later view the world as adult. It's very difficult to unlearn what you have learned as a young person. If you are raised believing that, for instance, young people is superior to other people or superior to everybody else, it's ready and very difficult to change that. We see it in many countries around the world. They raise their younger people on this kind of view. We are better than everybody else. Our interests are more important than those of everybody else. This leads to an existential crisis for humankind because this kind of thinking, of course, thousands of years have led to wars and persecutions and so forth, but now we are facing some existential global problems like climate change or, well, like the rise of artificial intelligence, which cannot be solved unless you cooperate with the other people in the world. And if people have this mindset that we are superior to everybody, that only our interest matters, then cooperation is almost impossible. What are you saying to give people hope, particularly the capital world? One thing that should be very clear is that humanity has a power to prevent catastrophic climate change. It's not an inevitable natural disaster. We have scientific knowledge. We also have economic resources. It's estimated that if we invest about 2% of global GDP in developing the right technology and infrastructure, we can prevent catastrophic climate change. Now, with 2% of global GDP is a lot of money, but it's completely feasible. It's a question of motivation. Do people have the political motivation to do it?